Hello, this is Priscilla, and welcome to the Conversational Hour. Today's topic is Iceberg and Culture. I hope that you will enjoy this class as much as I enjoyed putting it together. My goal for you is to develop your vocabulary, comprehension skills, listening skills, and your ability to speak uh, coherently and easily in today's session. So at the end of the session, we will talk about what you learned today, what disappointed you, what excited you, and what you look forward to in the next lessons. Hello, Lau. How are you?
I'm great today, and I just wondering from the this afternoon, and
Mm-hmm.
you have some class, and
Yes.
till now, and I can see. So, are you tired?
Nope, not yet. And the reason why I'm not tired is because I have a goal. And it's
Um,
similar to what I tell the students. I tell the students that when you are excited about something, when you're passionate about something, you have the drive, you're motivated, and you will accomplish many things. I have lots of help here in my house. I have my sister here. She brings me my food. Hi. She brings me food.
well,
I have my other friends. They bring me coffee. So in
oh, that's
between,
cool.
in between, and my mother is coming and they'll help clean my house. So I'm just a lady right now of leisure, and
Hmm.
I spend the time doing what I need to do because there is something that I want to purchase, and in order to purchase it I need to find the resources to do so. So I
Hmm.
have students who are willing to come and let me work with them, and I enjoy doing this. Second, I'll be completing my doctoral studies at the end of September. I will become Dr. Akpaita. I'll have that designation, and it is my goal to be able to say that I have worked with many, many students overseas when I go to conferences and meetings and I write curriculum. I can tell them that this is what the students are saying they need. This is what the
Hmm.
students are saying that they don't need. This has worked or this didn't work. So the more classes I can have with students coming, especially the ones who repeat, I get the feedback. That is why I have the final hour, because I make notes of what you all tell me and try to make my lesson somewhat a little more inviting for you. Here's an example of what I mean by this. I do have a student who is a regular student of mine in terms of coming to the group classes. And what he is looking for is a lesson that helps him to prepare for the GRE, which is
Hmm.
what the type of test that we do here in the States. Overseas, they may have the IELTS test or they may have the TOEFL. Native speakers don't take the TOEFL or the IELTS test, but once
Yeah.
a language learner gets to the United States, they may be forgiven and not have to take the IELTS or the TOEFL, but they would need to take the GRE or the SAT test. So I wanted to find activities that would help him. I don't do too many of those. I just did that one because he said that that was something he was interested in. So it's a little longer than the type of lessons that I typically do, but I did do that lesson. And if you're interested in seeing that lesson is called Escaping Adolescence. It's
Hmm.
interesting. I think you'll like it because you've come to several of my lessons also. So if
Hmm.
you see that one posted, you may find that you would be interested in joining that one as well. But today, this is a repeat Iceberg and Culture, but I always add a little something different to the lesson depending upon who attends the session. So with that said, I'm going to open up the lesson for today, which is Iceberg and Culture. And I'm going to go to Iceberg. And at any time that you find or you think that you are disappointed, let me know. I don't think I'm tired, but I could be. But
Yeah, you're so cool.
okay,
Very cool.
okay. I try to come with enthusiasm and humor and excitement and always the opportunity to learn. Okay, Iceberg. Have people here doing so many things for me. It's crazy, but I like it. I like to be spoiled. I think they like spoiling me. We all like to go shopping, so or eating
Mhm.
out. No one likes to cook. No one here likes to cook. So now, where is our lesson for today? It's in Robert Robert's folder, and now Iceberg.
I addicted of the learning English, and in this afternoon, with you,
Hmm.
but after that, I had some activities
Hmm.
with my friends. So,
Oh, and you didn't
so
go? But that's good.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you do need to spend time with your friends, but
yeah, yeah.
when you make that sacrifice, it shows that you're loyal to what it is that you want to achieve. There are some who are not disciplined to do what they need to do, but they think that they want to do something, but they don't have the discipline. I'm not necessarily saying that you should or should not go with your friends, but you definitely need to decide, if you set the time aside to come to
Mhm,
class, then you should come to class, not go with your friends. But if you
mm.
had set the time aside to go with your friends, I think it's perfectly okay to say, no, friends, I'm not going to go out with you today. I'm going to stay for this lesson. But,
Mhm.
if you've visited one of my lessons, if you see the names do not change, if it's a lesson that I've taught before, it's changing just a little bit depending upon who comes to the class. I have taught this one before, and depending upon what who is in the class and what your needs are, I try to tailor the lesson to that. So,
Mhm.
hello, Rafa. How are you? Rafa, how are you today?
Hello, good afternoon from my country. I'm pretty well, thank you.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, say hello to Lau, and then we'll get started.
Okay,
Mhm.
Lau, good afternoon to
Yeah.
you. Mm.
Good
Okay.
afternoon. It's midnight in my country.
Oh, it's midnight. Oh, well, it's
Yeah.
like 11-ish noontime for me. All right, so
Hmm.
we're going to get started. And this topic today is, I love this topic, how an iceberg is similar to culture. And one of my students wrote this, and I was so proud and pleased that she did. And so now I have presented it as a lesson. So if you would, Lau, I would like for you to read till you get to the broken lines. If, as you read, you come across a word that you do not know, I'd like for you to stop and ask me what that word means so that as we build our understanding of this story, you
Hmm.
won't have to go back too far. All right? So whenever you're
Okay.
ready, you may start.
Okay. Hmm.
And
But
oh, you can't see it.
where the first
Okay, it is
now?
here. Okay, it
Okay.
is here.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay.
And iceberg is a combination of hidden and revealed
Revealed. Revealed.
revealed elements. In a similar way, culture reveals its own dynamic characteristics,
Dynamic.
uh,
Dynamic. Dynamic.
dynamic,
Hmm.
dynamic characteristics, and iceberg with its many cracks and pinnacles will reach toward the heavens, glittering, hmm?
Glittering. Glittering.
glittering in the moonbeams, sometimes looming with a ghost-like appearance in the distant ashy night.
Okay, in the distant ashy light. So let's go down to here and let's read from here. Let's go, let's LOU. I want you to read again. Um, this way, we're going to have the images to help us understand the exact same thing. So I'm
Mhm,
going to ask you to start reading again, but this time take a look at the pictures so we can talk about the pictures and the words as we go along. Read
mhm.
for me. An iceberg.
Iceberg is a combination of hidden and revealed eminence.
Okay, this is revealed,
Re-
revealed, and the word
Revealed.
and the word revealed means to show. So you see this picture here? Something is
Yes.
hidden. Something is hidden behind his cape. The word revealed means to show. Revealed elements.
Mhm.
Okay? And elements, of course, are the wind, storm, rain, the elements of the earth, or elements. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, continue. In a similar way,
In a similar way, culture reveals its own dynamic characteristics
and this
and
word dynamic,
dynamic.
dynamic means different and vibrant and energetic. Notice this picture here, how dynamic
Mhm,
the colors are. They're
mhm.
beautiful, they're bold, they're vibrant. It's full of life, dynamic, and
Dynamic.
then there's characteristics. So what we're saying is that culture is very much like an iceberg. This is an iceberg, right?
Hmm.
And an iceberg has hidden characteristics. Like
Yeah.
you can't see them. This is below the water. You can't know what's below the water when you see an iceberg from afar. The only thing that you see is the top part. And that's what it is saying about culture. You can't know what a person is like. So when you come to class, Lau, I know your name. I know that
Hmm.
you like coming to my class, but that doesn't tell me about your character. I don't know if you are a thief. I don't know if you're wealthy. I don't know if you are nice to your wife. I don't know if you have a wife. Those are things that I don't know about you. Okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
continue.
It means I'm a ugly duck, and
That's
we
funny.
become
That's
we
funny.
become to yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Continue here.
Okay.
An iceberg,
An iceberg with its many cracks and
crags, crags.
cracks,
And remember, we're talking
cracks.
about an iceberg having crags. And a crag is those little pathways between a place where you can walk.
Hmm.
Indentions are called crags. Okay? And,
Yeah.
okay,
Hmm. An iceberg with its many cracks and pinnacles.
pinnacles. And the pinnacles are these topmost parts of the mountain. So pinnacles is the top part of something.
Hmm.
Pinnacles is the top part. So this would be the pinnacle. This little piece right here, that is the pinnacle. And here's the
Pinnacle.
pinnacle. And
Summit.
yes, the top. That is
Mm-hmm.
correct. It's the summit. Fantastic. Continue. And pinnacles,
And pinnacles will reach toward the heavens, glittering in the moonbeams. Sometimes
moonbeam,
moon
moonbeams,
moonbeams, moonbeams. I
beams,
know what he. Okay,
moonbeams,
moonbeams.
moonbeam.
Ah,
So if you look up here
moonbeams.
in the heavens, in the sky, this is the
Hmm.
sky and the moon is shining through. You see how
Mhm.
the moon is shining through? Where's my arrow? Here's my arrow right here. Cut. Copy. So when we look here, you see perhaps the moon right there,
Mhm.
and all of these lines going down here, these lines,
Mm.
those are beams. The
Yeah,
moon is beaming down. Hmm.
moonbeams. Usually we say it as moonlight. Moonlight.
Hmm. Moon night. And we
Mhm.
walk with our loved ones in the moonlight. Hmm. And this is
Mhm.
glittering. This is glittering, shiny. Okay, glittering in the
Mhm.
moonbeams.
Okay.
Continue.
Mhm. Um, Sometimes looming with ghost-like appearance in the distant ashy night.
Ashy light. Ashy.
Ashy night. Ashy
Good,
night.
good. Now, what words do you need me to help you understand? Any words?
Ashy.
Okay, ashy. You know when it's very, very cold, I don't know that it really happens with people that are light complexion, but me, I have dark complexion skin, and in the wintertime, when I go out and it's very, very cold, my skin turns ashy white, like so I need to put
Mhm.
some lotion on my skin to get it moisturized and not be so ashy. So that's what
Well.
ashy means.
Mhm.
Okay, any other question?
No. Have bad memory. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so now we will go to Rafa. Rafa, would you read for us? Rafa is going to read
Okay.
for us now. As a nation,
Yeah, I could see. Yeah. Same.
you will start with as a
Yeah.
nation of people.
As as in nation is sorry. As in a nation of people, some will wander and rebel. A small percentage of self in an effort to explore personal goals and aspirations that may differ from the indigenous group
Okay, so let's take a look. As a nation,
as a nation.
let's let's consider that this is a group of people. These people belong to a nation. I know that they're not native English speakers, and their nation is not the United States. Now, the word wander means someone who travels from place to place. He has his bag on his back, he has his jacket on, and he's whistling a tune. I'm leaving. So now we're thinking about the iceberg. How is the iceberg like culture? These people are from a particular culture. They all look alike. They're somehow dressed similarly, and they look similar in appearance. But at some point, they decide they want to leave their nation. Maybe they want to leave Japan or India or China or Mexico, and they want to wander. They want to go someplace else. And when they go someplace else, they're not going to reveal much about themselves at the beginning. They're not going to tell me that they own a hotel in their country. They're not going to tell me that they are single and they're looking for a wife or a husband. They're not revealing that information yet. That's just a small percentage of them that are coming, and they're going to share just a small percentage of themselves. They will tell me what is required. They may tell me their age, they may tell me their family name, but they are all trying to explore, which means to search information. Explore means to look for something and try to understand it. So as they explore their personal goals, for example, Lao's personal goal is to become very good at conversational English. Rafa, your personal goal may be to
Mhm.
explore conversational English as well.
Mhm.
And the aspirations, the word aspiration, it just means desire. It is a want, something that you want. Aspiration is something that you want. And your aspirations, your desire now has become different from the indigenous group. And the word indigenous means the place from where you come. Where are you from is your indigenous group. Okay? Are there words that I need to explain further for you,
No,
Rafa?
no,
Okay, good.
it's crystal clear.
And Lau, will you read for us? It's
Uh,
Luo, I think. Luo. Lou? Lau?
no, 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 it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Would you read for us? Read this one for us?
mhm.
Okay.
Uh, with the absence of full support of group norms, would-be explorer is exposed to hazards above the surface of the sea in comparison to the safety of the group grounded beneath the sea with more than 80% of solid mass structure and support for sustainability.
Okay.
Sorry,
The
I
sustain.
didn't get it.
Okay. This word is sustainability.
Uh,
Sustainability.
sustain, sustainability.
Mhm.
Mm.
Now, what we're saying here is with the absence, the word absent means something does not exist. So this is an empty chair. Normally, someone could sit there, but it does not have anyone sitting there. So with the absence of full support of group norms, remember group norms are the people that you know more about. I know more about native English speakers than I do about people who speak Spanish, who speak Arabic, who speak Hindi, or any other language. So when the would-be traveler leaves his native group, he doesn't have the support of the group norms. You probably can't find all the foods that you are typically accustomed to when you come to America. Well, you might find something similar, but there's nothing like a home cooked meal by your mother or your grandmother when you are at home. So you're not going to have that. You won't have the type of ceremonies that you have at your native home. You will be exposed to things like, what? They do that? Oh my gosh. They did that to their mom. They put their mom over here, and the children have left home, and the children are not married, and they're doing this. Oh my goodness. Oh no. But you have left the support of your home, and you are exploring and learning. You are becoming exposed to things that you never would find in your own country. Some of this exposure could be hazardous, which means it could be dangerous for you. Going to certain places at night and not knowing where you are, choosing certain people to be your friend who may be drug addicts, thieves, just bad people. And sometimes you could be exposed to good people who will help you when you need help, feed you when you're hungry, but you know what to expect in your hometown and you know where to go. And so we're saying that the iceberg is very similar to a culture. The iceberg is very solid, and culture is solid because you can go there for support. And here again is the iceberg. This iceberg is not just floating on top of the water. It has a strong support system underneath. That support system is holding this top ice in one place. All right? Is that clear somewhat?
I have a question, if I may.
Okay.
I don't catch what's the meaning of the would-be explorer.
The would be. The
The
would be
would-be.
The would-be explorer is someone that I think I want to do it, but I'm not sure. You know how you can say,
Uh,
I'm going tomorrow, and then your brain said, you better not go. And then you say, I'm definitely going. And your brain says, mm, I don't know. It was like Lau, who wanted to go with his friends, and he said, I really want to go with my friends. But then he saw that I was teaching, and he said, no, I'm not going. I'm going to stay with Priscilla. And his friends say, Lau, come on. And he said, okay. And then it got closer to the hour, and he said,
It's,
nope,
it's struggle,
it's
struggle,
a
struggling.
struggle. Yes, it's a would be. But now the difference between the struggle is it's would be is when you make that decision. Did you do it or did you not do it? So in this case, the would be traveler actually decided that he would no longer struggle and take the risk and go away. So he left.
mhm.
So when he makes the decision, he's no longer a would be. He is actually, yes, I did.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
I
I
got you.
did. So the would be is someone who is in a struggle and decides to do whether it was right or wrong. He made the decision to not let it be a struggle and go with it. All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
Rafa, would
got
you
you.
read for me?
Perfect. When an individual slips, drifts, or chooses to relinquish the safety net of the known and venture away from his homeland, he will be exposed to different cultures and traditions, just like an iceberg. The intense sunlight will melt and change the status and elements of this would-be glacier.
Of this would be glacier. Okay. So now what it is saying, when that individual leaves his native country, he slips, he drifts, or he chooses to relinquish. Relinquish means, okay, if you really want to give up the way that you want to sound like an American, you want to dress like an American, you want to eat like an American, you shave your hair, you wear the baggy pants, you wear the suits, you wear the classy clothes, whatever you do, you don't want anyone to know that you are from someplace else. That is relinquishing, that is giving up. You might just give up, you might relinquish part of it, or you might relinquish all of it. And then you venture. The word venture is nothing more than travel. When you're going and you're wandering, you've traveled, you've ventured away from your homeland. And again, you're going to be exposed to different cultures and traditions. Here, I like to eat pizza and ice cream. I never cook. I never cook. I'm going to go out today and eat because I'm not cooking. And the traditions of the home is just like an iceberg. Okay? And the intense tradition, the intense sunlight, what does the sunlight do to an iceberg? It melts it. Now, you might say, and change the status of the elements into a glacier. Now, how does changing culture resemble the heat? When you come to, for example, to America, you'll be able to watch about 500 television stations. You'll see nudity. You'll see churches. You'll see lots of people who are driving motorcycles. You'll see girls that are scantily dressed. You'll see people who are dressed like Muslims. You'll see people who are dressed like Indians. You'll see people who are dressed like the native Indian people. You'll see the Chinese people who are dressed in their native dress. You'll see the Africans dressed as they dressed. And then you'll see a conglomeration of all or many ethnic groups or nationalities dressed like Americans. Except for the fact that they open their mouth and they speak, you would not know what they were. Now, those are the intense pressures like the sun on the iceberg. The heat is so hot on the iceberg that it starts to melt and become like the water that it sits on. So when you come to America, for example, the pressures of everybody pulling you this way. Come on, Lau, come over here and go with me to this church, or come with me and go to this party, or let's get drunk, or let's get naked, or let's get whatever. You just say, oh no, I can't do that. I don't drink in my country. I don't go to parties. I go to this type of church, or I don't believe that. And I'll say, well, let's eat some spaghetti. And you'll say, eat what? I can't eat that. It's not even good. Well, you will have to succumb to the pressures, just like the heat of the iceberg. All right. And the last part is here. So, Lau, will you read the last one? And then we will discuss. Lau,
Mm-hmm.
would you
Mm-hmm.
read this one?
Yeah. Cultural values once apparent, such as personality, mhm, personality, um, clothing, speaking, or I could express my thoughts,
Mm,
thoughts,
hmm
thoughts,
My, or
as those visible elements of being, those traits, not easily detected uh, biases, prejudices,
mhm.
spiritual disposition, concepts, and
Indigenous.
indigenous experiences.
Okay, good. Now,
I'm
what this,
confused. I don't
I
know.
know.
I don't know.
So, I know. So, what this one is saying that cultural values, like you have some cultural values, there are just some things that you will not do. They're just, I'm not going to do it. But those cultural values that were once apparent, once you go to another country, another place, there's no one to say, Lau, you shouldn't do that. Or, I can't believe that Lau did that. Did you see what he did? Because everyone in that country that you have moved to says, it's okay. You can do it. You do what you want to.
Mhm,
Then your personality change. You start cursing, or you start drinking on the street. You stay out late at night. You don't go to work. Whatever you might not normally do, you change because of the pressures of the environment. You might change the way that you speak. You may change from, you know, instead of saying, I like girls, you might start
mhm,
liking guys. Or you might already like guys. And then you
mhm,
may say, I'm going to start enjoying girls. But you get to express your thoughts, and those thoughts that you were hiding before are now becoming visible. And I'll say, ooh, did you see what Lau did? Ooh, I can't believe someone coming from his country did that. But you know what? It's okay because he's here with us now. So those traits, not easily detected, are biases. And a bias is, let's see, um, Lau, do you,
judgment,
yeah,
judge.
judgments. And prejudices is something that one can easily relate to, or I could say, I am an African American and I have experienced prejudices here in my own country. And I'm sure you have experienced prejudices in your own country as well. It doesn't necessarily have to do so much with the color of my skin.
Yeah, yeah. I can remember a very famous fiction
Hmm.
novel. It's
Hmm.
something of the prejudice.
Hmm.
Prejudice.
Well, we had there
It's
was
a novel. Novel. Yeah.
was it Pride and Prejudice maybe?
Yeah, Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was
Pride and
wonderful. It was
Prejudice.
a series of books, and I think I
Mhm.
either saw all of them or read all of them. They were wonderfully written and very informative as well. And so your indigenous experiences can bring with it some prejudices because I don't necessarily believe, or I don't believe that one religion is better than another. I just believe that we believe differently. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I just do things differently. So there goes the prejudices that one may have. Oh, well, there's more. So why don't I just, oh my gosh, it is quite long. So, okay, so let's have, well, what I'm not getting is I'm not getting the conversation that I would like to have. So I'm going to read it very quickly. Finally, the iceberg will start to melt and meld with icebergs and evolve. So when the iceberg starts to melt, it's going to change into something else. When the culture starts to change, it's going to change, which means to evolve. It's going to evolve into something greater than its part. You are going to be exposed to a new culture, and you will be introduced to new experiences and opportunities in a manner that the would-be iceberg is transformed. Remember that would-be traveler now is a would-be iceberg. It is changed into something else in a manner that clearly expresses itself in different and unique. Once you have moved to another country, you will change. You may not change totally, but you can't help but change because countries and cultures are designed to exist based upon the resources that are available. For example, if you're accustomed to eating bananas and coconuts, just walk outside and get you're not going to get one here in North Carolina. You'll have to go to the store and get one, and you may pay more for it. So when we compare an iceberg and culture, it is imminent. It is going to happen. Imminent means that something is going to happen. You see in this picture, imminent means this sign tells you that rocks are going to fall. I don't know what day, but imminently the rocks are going to be falling. So it's a realization that once something is removed from the host, once you leave your host country, once you leave your host country, it undoubtedly, without any thought, it's going to be yes, something is going to change for the good, or no, something is going to change for the better. Something is going to change because you have to survive. You have to embrace the culture where you are. And that is the same as with an iceberg. An iceberg cannot sit on top of the water forever and face the sun without melting and drifting as pieces breaks off or as the wind blows it, it is going to move. So now let's go back to our conversation so we can have our conversation portion today.
Yeah.
Now, Rafa, we talked about the similarities of an iceberg and culture. Rafa, I like the fact that as your image shows, here is exactly what we're talking about today. You have this big iceberg here in the middle of the picture, and in the middle, you see this little piece of iceberg that's sitting on the top. It has broken off. It's saying, I want to go away. I want to explore. You're saying, but someone else is saying, should you go? And you say, I don't care, I'm going. And you say, I'm going to go. No, I'm not going to go. But you've already broken off from this bigger piece, and I think you've made the decision that you're going to drift to the left, and you're going to slide down, and you're going to be on your way, and you don't have the support of that big, huge iceberg in the back of you anymore. Can you somehow see that as culture?
Yes, I agree with your speech and the article. Culture is very similar to an iceberg. The important thing is to try to change and to improve with new things in with another cultures. For this reason, it's important to know, as the article says, that more than 80% is underneath, is above, is deeply, but it could be melt if you are sharing with others, with another cultures. You can change your point of view, your lifestyle, as you are saying before.
Very good.
Um, for this reason, I think traveling is a very good way to melt your culture iceberg
Exactly. Hmm.
and know differences with other in behavior and in traditions, in religion, as you are saying,
Hmm.
and also in how they cook, how they what they eat. This kind of melting culture is a kind of evolution in the human beings, melting different cultures, reaching another places better than the place, the spot that we know.
Okay. And Rafa, you're doing an excellent job in telling me what you want me to know, and you are bringing some excellent points. So much so that I want you to continue telling me. However, as much as I'm enjoying you telling it to me, I want you to concentrate on your use of the words and us, because you know exactly what you want to tell me. You have a great grasp of the idea and the concept. What is delaying your ability to speak effortlessly is that your inner brain is still trying to tell you in your native language. When you say
Mm,
you're trying to find a word that is in your native language and then translate it. I want you to ignore that and just say what you want to say, even if it doesn't come out as smoothly as you want. That is going to be the quickest way for you to develop your English fluency. Now, there will be an occasion when you have to think about, what is it that I really want to say? Just stop talking and not say and Just stop talking, gather your thoughts, and then say it. It is the the and the mm that is causing your delay. But what you're telling me is right on point as to what an iceberg does, what culture does, and how they are one and the same as it relates to breaking away, making decisions, changing into something else for the better or for the worse. Okay?
mhm.
All right. So now let us listen to Lao. If you'll mute your microphone, Rafa, we'll listen to Lao. Lao, I just want you to tell me what you have observed in culture as it relates to an iceberg. For example, you can think about what the article is talking about and how things might change for you should you leave your country. In fact, even if you do not leave your country, the fact that you will master conversational English is going to cause some type of change within your own uh, native environment. What do you think about that, Lau? And do you agree with what I say? Okay, so Lau is not answering. That must mean I'm going to assume that he doesn't have connectivity. So Rafa, take this opportunity to try and speak with me.
Mhm.
Concentrate on the elimination of the excessive earns, and ahs. You can take the pauses, but try to eliminate the earns, and ahs. All
Okay.
right? Continue.
Okay. Well, at the beginning, when I read this article, I was thinking about culture has many things as an iceberg, but not in the direction that the article says. If not, to thinking in culture has one face to the people, one show face, one face that you can see, and another face that is underneath, that is above, that is deeply than you never can get. For example, I was thinking at the beginning that when you go to America or to Africa or the countries, you can see one face. People are like this. But later, if you are more deeply, if you are looking more deeply, you can see another aspect that you couldn't see at the beginning, like an iceberg. People are so kind, but later they are so cynical.
Yes.
They looks like they are not discrimination, but later when you are looking deeply in any culture, you can find there are a lot of discrimination, even though also between them.
Okay, so stop right there. So let me tell you what, and I am agreeing with what you're saying, but as your coach, as I'm listening to you, I can see that this is a topic that you can become very passionate about. And I'm getting the assumption that when there is something that you are very passionate about, you want to make many, many points. So this
mm,
is what I'm going to suggest. When you find that there is a topic that you're very passionate about and you are in a class, you're going to have to restrain yourself from so much passion exuding from you to remember that you want to focus on not saying the ums and erms and ahs. When you started out for about 1 full minute, you did beautifully. You didn't have the ums, but as you got into it, your passion overtook your opportunity to practice. Remember that you're here practicing. I'm going to give you an example. When someone is playing basketball,
mhm.
they want to get the three-pointers. When they can shoot from a far distance, they get more points. And they keep shooting. They keep shooting. They get very good at shooting at the distance. What the coach actually has to tell the person who's very good at shooting from a distance, when you're in a real game of basketball, you're not going to have opportunities to always shoot from the far
From
distance.
distance.
Therefore, you have to learn how to restrain yourself and practice shooting when someone is up in your face, on your side, at your back. You've got to learn how to maneuver around all different situations. So my advice is when you find that you have a topic that you're very passionate about, say what you want to say. Although there's no one talking in this environment now, hold back
Mhm.
and let someone else say something to give you a moment to collect your thoughts in order so that the next time you start with your conversation, you'll have even more to contribute and it comes out without the excessive ums, ahs, and I do want you to take every opportunity to practice speaking, but as you're getting better at using the skills and techniques that I'm sharing with you, I want you to remember, step back, take a break, ask a question even. So as you were going forward, you could take this opportunity, even though you may know the answer, you might say, Teacher Priscilla, I believe this is what you want me to know. Am I correct? And then that gives me a chance to say something, and you've caught your breath, and
Mhm.
then you continue again. Because
Mhm.
after a while, you're so caught up in impassioned that you want me to know something, that you start to use the excessive ums and ums. And that is one of the things that I don't want to say that it annoys native English speakers, but it does. It's
Mm.
like, oh, it was so good until, I don't know what he was talking about. He just said so many, after he said that last I just zoned out. Okay, so just remember and keep that thought in mind. So let's check to see if Lau is back. Lau, are you back? No, I'm not sure what happened, but he's not back. So now continue, Rafa, because you are on a great point. I'm enjoying what you're saying, and it's very informative. What you're saying, and I'm interested in knowing even more of what you want to say. I just want you to be aware of you drop back into the uns and the earns. Okay?
Yeah. Perfect. I got it. I'm trying to don't do it so much, and as you
Mm-hmm.
say, and concentrate in one idea. Cause there, I'm trying to talk as much as I can, and I try to have more ideas than I perhaps I can
Hello, hello, hello.
tell in a minute.
Right. Okay. So that is exactly what I'm saying. And Lao is back.
Hello.
So Lao, you can speak now. And that's what I was saying, Rafa. Start with one thought, then ask a question, but you can continue with it, but give yourself a break from that. Okay, Lao,
Yeah.
now I'd like for you to tell us and share with us what you would like for us to know about today's class. What did you think about the lesson? Did you benefit? Did you find
Mhm.
vocabulary? Whatever you want us to know, please share that with us now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Previously, I couldn't speaking. I couldn't. I mean, I let my son as to get across to you. I know, because some technical problems.
Yes.
But now I can speak to you.
Okay. All right. Well,
When
we
I
all
refresh the line, yeah,
yeah, we all do that.
refresh.
Yeah, refreshing is a good place to start. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
It's always so
Um,
we could even say that sometimes technology is like an iceberg. We buy a
mhm,
very nice computer, and the very first day we know exactly what it's supposed to do. It works fine. And then that one day we download something, and oh my goodness, it's like my computer goes bizarre. That was a word that
mhm,
we learned earlier today, Lau. Bizarre. The computer goes
mhm,
bizarre. It acts weird. It acts crazy. And eventually, I, as the owner of the equipment, will find out why it is doing what it is doing. Or, as an iceberg, I will let it remain and ignore it. But then guess what it does? It goes and collects another virus. So
mhm,
eventually, I'll either have to get it fixed, repaired, or get another computer. So a lot of things are like icebergs and culture. Okay.
mhm,
All right. You may
mhm.
continue, Lau.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things connected with computer technology tech issues. I don't know,
True.
uh, but I would say this is a spectacular um, lesson. Yeah.
And we
Yes,
didn't
I
even get
can.
we didn't even get to half of the lesson, but it's okay because the
Yeah.
goal is not to finish but to learn. That is my goal. So, okay.
Yeah, 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 that's great. Because every time when I participate with your class, I can feel the something to force me to thinking and to speaking.
Great.
That's a great thing. Yeah, that's a
Great.
great thing. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
So.
I'm very happy to hear that. It is my pleasure to be here to help students accomplish their goals because if I can help you accomplish your goals, I can accomplish my goals. I used to work for a company called Mary Kay Cosmetics. And Mary Kay, before she died, she told us as her consultants to promote her product that if we helped people accomplish their goals, we would accomplish our goal. So the more people I can help accomplish their goal, the more likely I will be able to accomplish my goal. My goal is to be able to travel to the various countries and eventually meet some of the people that I have taught. I don't know when that will happen, but I believe it can and it very possibly will. And my
Come
final
here. I'm waiting for you.
Okay, and my final thought is before there was technology, I was about 18 or 19, and I thought I wanted to travel. That was going to be a goal of mine and meet people in different countries. That was before there was an internet, Skype, or Verbling. And I have met so many wonderful people all over the world that I didn't have to leave my home in order to do it. So I am achieving my goals in miraculous ways and in ways that I had never envisioned. But I'm going to say now, with that thought, I am going to take a break. It is great to have such wonderful students who will applaud and follow me and join my sessions. I'm very proud to be your coach. So thank you very much for your participation today. And I hope that you will continue to follow and be actively engaged and learn in my classes. If there's ever anything that you would like for me to know, or you want me to try and do as a class, please let me know and I will try to put something together if it is possible. So with that said, thank you again, Lau and
Mhm.
Rafa. I had a
Bye.
great time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
bye for now.
As you mentioned, you are from the North Carolina. North
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Yes,
I
North
go
Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. I have been to the Myrtle Beach. Is Myrtle Beach
Ah, you have
in
been
the
to South Carolina. It's our neighboring state.
south? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I'm
South
about
Carolina.
I'm about 4 hours from the beach. So
Hmm.
you went to Myrtle Beach. I'm about 4 hours from Myrtle Beach. I too have been to Myrtle Beach, but I don't like to swim.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if I were much younger, maybe. But now I just go to the beach and I stay in the hotel, but I get the water side. I get the beach side where the hotel with the windows so that I can overlook the waters. Okay, gotta run. Bye for
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Take care. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Great night.